since it's been a while since I've posted a bike walk around, I thought this would be a pretty good one. So this was my friend Sascha's bike, and he did a whole bunch of really cool stuff to it. He really liked this bike. He did many thousands of miles on it. I think this thing has like 60,000 miles. He's been running, you know, putting miles on left and right. But he did a lot of really cool stuff to this thing that's not necessarily my kind of mod, but still kind of worthwhile. So there are some good things, there are some bad things, and I'll go through all of that right now. So why don't we start from the front? So it's got springs in the forks, obviously can't show them. He got a lot of stuff powder coated black. He got the fork legs powder coated black, he got the triple powder coated black, he got the lower triple powder coated, engine cases, rear sets, basically almost everything that was on this bike that was silver has been at some point. These triangle guys, there's a lot of stuff that basically got powder coated, so that's really cool. Other things from the front, something I'm not a huge fan of, he was running Shinkos, but he was a sport touring guy. He was never specifically asking anything from his tires. Shinkos are not known to be the ultimate in grip, but whatever. So also there's a LED headlight. I'm not a huge fan of them, but some of them can work okay sometimes. I'm sure he you know, compared it to stock. Little stock fly screen. They were on and off. Some bikes came with them, some bikes didn't, but you know, whatever. Now this, I think it's Pyramid belly pan, along with Pyramid's brackets for mounting said belly pan. Not a really common thing, and the fact that it's color matched is pretty cool. At least it looks color matched. I have like Napoleon's a really weird color. This is like the 06 Napoleon blue. It's like sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks green, but it does look close to the color of the bike. So I guess Pyramid painted them. Then other things that are interesting, this radiator guard probably helped with a rock at some point. Seat cowl, tail tidy, the integrated tails. I think he said this was the better set of integrated tails, because there are a couple of different integrated tails on eBay. The like cheapies are really bad, you can barely see them during daylight. This, he said, was not bad, you could actually see when he was using his turn signal. Color match seat cowl and infills, pretty rare. Well, maybe not that rare, but rare to see the infills and rare to see them in good shape. Just a random Delk pipe, nothing to write home about. On this side, now blue chain, I've never been crazy about the color chains, mostly because they're usually not the best. Just because, like, Vortex or whatever, like, from what I can see, I think this looks like a DID or EK. Yeah, EK 520. So this is a Vortex chain. So it's not a bad chain. The problem with a lot of times when you see color chains, a lot of times they're like the cheapies, like no-name ones, and they deteriorate really quickly. Some kind of ZX shock with a hyper coil spring, I guess, resprung for his weight and cut off the toolkit compartment to get the reservoir to fit. So powder coated, painted, basically anything he could paint he painted, anything he could powder coat he powder coated. There's some like heated grip, power outlets, you know, all the sport touring stuff. But then there is this. if you can see, the gauge cluster just turned blue. So he did the blue LED swap. Actually, I think like my electronics guys did it for him, or maybe some of it. And then also in here is T-River's fuel multibot. So T-River was a guy that was on that's on the SV Rider forum, and a long time ago he made a bunch of like electronics gadgets. So what this has in it is it has a gear indicator and a voltage gauge. So if you tap just twice, it'll give you, instead of the whatever the temperature, it'll give you the voltage, so 12.6 volts. And if you tap it 3 times, okay, so back to temperature, and then 1, 2, 3, that makes this a gear indicator. So if I put it in some other gear, it shows 1, 2, I don't know, come on, now it's showing check. You can also have it move over into okay, how do I do this? 1, 2, 3. You can also have it show up here. I don't think it works when the bike is off. Okay, I guess that's neutral. So anyway, there's probably some kind of LCD problem or some way of decoding this. I'm sure there's a SV Rider thread about the multibot and how T-River got it to work. But anyway, it's a random cool thing to have. Super uncommon on all these bikes. The odometer is wrong. He was running the wrong... he wasn't running Speedo Healer for a while or something, so... or... I don't know, whatever. There's no way this bike has 100,000 miles on it. Like, that, wow, that would be amazing. It really doesn't feel like it, because it rides just fine. It feels like every other SV. He did have like an honest 60-ish K on it. Some of the things I'm not crazy about the Chinesium levers. You can see they started life black, but they kind of black like this, but they kind of like faded into some kind of green. That just happens because they use mediocre anodizing. You know, the tank pop and tail scratch, that's not anything. That's probably more of a, you know, life happens when you have a bike for like 15 years and 60,000 miles. Things happen to it. So I'm not upset about that. Not crazy about Shinkos, but once again, sport touring guy. And it also had these mirrors that I pulled off to so that they like wouldn't whistle on the truck, because they made some random noises you see yesterday on the truck, and I figured out it was the mirrors on the drive home. You know, whatever. Those are all personal choices. Things that are good choices: braided lines. That helps it brake better. The lever's a little mush, it could use a brake bleed. But what we're gonna do with it is it's going to come apart, and it's going to be another Bike Experience USA track bike. So the street stuff is gonna come off. I'm gonna put some like random body work, maybe get it painted or paint it black or something, paint it some easy to maintain color. And it's gonna be another, and get the pingle, get the like rear thumb brake. It's just gonna be another, put real tires on it, service it, you know, all that happy stuff. But it's gonna be another Bike Experience USA bike when we're done. So hopefully that was interesting to somebody. And probably I've got like a bunch more bikes that I've picked up recently, and I'm getting a couple more this weekend, so maybe I'm gonna be doing a little more of these. And of course, as soon as I got done with the video, I figured out what was going on. It's got 100,000 kilometers on it, and if I switch it back to miles, 1, 2, 3, it's got 62K. So that's why it was showing 99999 or whatever.